Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be showing you how you can install betas for Command Modern Operation. Now one thing I want to say before you get too carried away with any beta that you're interested in playing with Command, it's worth noting that when you do install them, it could cause all sorts of fun problems. So there's a reason why they're called betas in the first place. There are basically going to be two different major sources for betas. One thing you want to know though is your current Command version before you start going crazy on your betas. Make sure everything installed. For me right now we're on 1328.14. And the reason I like to check that is just kind of an idiot way to make sure I did everything correctly when I'm doing it. You can also confirm that in the upper left corner, and you can also confirm that down here as well. Like I said, little stuff like that is going to be important if things go wrong. So there are basically two primary ways to do it. The one way is going to be the automatic way. This only works for major betas usually. And of course, there's the forum way or the Google Drive way, and we'll take a look at both of those side by side. So the automatic way, I just come over here to my Command Modern Operations, press Properties. You go down here, there's a betas, and if there is any betas, it's going to be down here. Now, one of the things that's interesting is often they give you beta unlock codes. The purpose of these codes are basically to limit who has access to the beta. If you do have one of those, you simply punch it in here, click check code, and then you will see that your new option is down here, which works pretty well. But for us, we're going to be installing one of the betas that came from the forum directly. These tend to be very, very raw builds. These tend to have that one thing that everybody's not going to know that did not work until they tried it and found out it did not work. So it's just kind of something you have to be mindful of. So if you come in the forum itself, this is the Command Modern Operations forum. If you're looking for an easy way to search for this, CMO forum, and that'll get you right over here. And I noticed we have this new build here. This is a build 1328.15, which is 0.01 bigger than ours. And if you come down here, it's going to talk about all the different components that kind of go with that particular one. And it's also going to kind of mention some things down here, and that's kind of cool. It even mentioned the fact it's a soft release. Again, I can't say enough times that whenever they create new betas, you're going to have some issues with it. So one of the things I'm going to do here. So I'm going to go over to here. We have a download link for this, basically the forum, the website, Slytherin, basically our big publisher here. Or, of course, you have a Mediafire link. I like the regular download link, my favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and press the save button. Now, one of the things that shocks everybody real quick here is the fact that the file is going to come as a 7-zip, not as a RAR file. It's not going to come as, a standard zip. Now, when people see 7-zip, they always panic and say, oh my God, 7-zip, what do I do? Well, the good news is, and this goes for RARs too, if you just go in here and type in 7-zip right into Google, it's a free program. Completely free and open source, and it opens RAR files as well as the 7-zip files. So don't panic if that comes up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to this file. I've already installed 7-zip. I'm going to right click. You're going to have this lovely button at the top. You got a little open with here, but you also have a 7-zip option, and this is open archive. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that, and voila, you can see everything is ready to rock. This is our updated cell. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that to my other screen here, because one of the things I noticed here is this is the exe is unsigned and thus likely to trigger a lot of false positive AV alerts. If you're uncomfortable with this, wait for the official release. I promise you that there's nothing that Command would do that would jeopardize their product by intentionally releasing viruses. And of course, it's coming right off the official forums, so you have a pretty good idea. It's just kind of one of those things that you want to be mindful of. It also gave us a warning here, and this is why you have to do these things carefully. They recommend you redo all those files here. I don't usually play with those tutorials, so don't worry about it. So the next step, of course, is going to be to go ahead and get our own community data file here. So I'm going to go over here at Command Modern Operations. If you press Manage, there's this lovely thing that says Browse Local Files. Now, if you hit that like that, it's going to open up your command folder. Of course, what did I do is I gave that the wiggle here. And here's everything ready to go. What a lot of people will actually do is they'll rename their original command when they do this. Again, this is those raw kind of forum builds, but that's totally up to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this. I'm going to go woo and drag it right there. Just like that. What it's going to do is it's going to get very grumpy at me. It's going to say, you have all these files with the same names. I'm going to press replace all. You're going to give that half a second, and that's it. The build has been installed. Now, this is where things get a little more interesting. So I'm going to press the play button here. It's going to pop up. One of the things you'll notice here is this is the command launcher. The command launcher is version 1328.14. When I press the play button, this is where things get a little more interesting. And when we're done loading here, you can now see we are 1328.15. This is our new build here, ready to go. And I can confirm that as well. I can create a new scenario, and I can look up at the top, and I can also see that we're 1328.15. And just like that, we're ready to go with the new beta. Some people, of course, at this point say, how would I go back to the previous one? There's a couple different ways you could do that. First thing is if you renamed your command files, you could rename the new one to something else and then replace it. The other thing you could do, of course, is you could uninstall command and reinstall it, and that would give you everything back. Enjoy.